He had to work, something come up at work and it's not gonna make it any less. No. So he apologized.
Ready? Right. Call to order. The May 22nd, Town Civil Board of Commissioners meeting. Everyone. First thing on our agenda is to approve the agenda. I didn't have a motion to do that.
I will approve the agenda.
I have a motion. Do we have any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by like sign, the motion carries. Apparently, we do not have a consent agenda today. We have one person signed up for public speaking, Mr. Luke Jones.
Thank you. I'll keep it as short as I can. I realize that the town of Sylva has no say so in what's going on at the library. I totally understand that. I do though believe that the library itself and the way that it's run is critical to the town of Sylva. I would ask that the town of Sylva, and your commissioners here, come up with a resolution asking the county council not to remove it from the Fontana Regional Library System. I've left a thing on your desk there, giving you my reasons why. The move is obviously political. It has nothing to do with how the library is run. That's the honest truth. I would ask if you would consider that, if you would discuss it, and if you possibly could come up with a resolution asking the county not to pull out of the Fontana Regional Library. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Luke. That's all we have for public comment. For the reports, I don't have anything to report today. We'll move on to Miss Mary.
No report today, thank you.
No report, Brad.
A couple hundred people came out Tuesday night to support the library. I think Sylva was one of them. And I just want to say thank you to all the people that did that, came out Tuesday night. Everybody has something else to do. And I think that speaks volumes for our community's support for the library. And I just want to thank everybody for doing that.
Absolutely. And from this board, thank you for your service on the library board, and thank Mary for all her years of service on the library board as well. Please.
I have nothing to report this morning.
No.
Nothing to report.
Well, moving on to our manager's report.
Please remember the public hearing on our budget is next Thursday, May 29th at 5. That's not a typical meeting date, so please be sure that you have it on your calendar. And the budget is scheduled to be adopted June the 12th. June 12th is also the proposed rezoning for the parcel and the ETJ for the middle school. The county is requesting a zoning map amendment from general business to institutional, and the planning board unanimously voted to recommend the town board approve this request at their meeting last week. So plan on June 12th, taking a little bit longer than normal. The let date on the R5600 project is now pushed to November the 18th. Funding is still committed, but the delay is due to utilities. Town offices will be closed Monday for Memorial Day, and our employee wellness fair will be held June 10th from 7:30 to 9. We had open enrollment for supplemental benefits last week. That's all I have this morning.
Thank you. Public Works.
Good morning, everybody. Storm this past Saturday. Sure y'all all observed it living in town. Had pretty widespread damage as a result of that storm. We lost between 5 and 8 pretty substantially sized trees. I'm sure you've seen Chipper Curve Road, Sylvan Heights up where Paige lives. We did have just about every private gravel driveway in town got blown out. So putting all that back together is ongoing. That brings us to the new landslide on Allen Street. Hope y'all all saw Paige's email correspondence about that. It appears at this time to be a surface runoff event, not a geological movement type event, which is good. We had gravel come down off a private drive, block surface runoff to a storm drain, and it jumped a curb and bypassed the drain and ran down the bank. I believe fairly certainly that we're not dealing with a geological event here, but we are going to have Kessel Engineering Group get their eyes on it and advise us accordingly. We'll keep you guys looped in with new information as that develops on that situation. In the first week of June, we're going to be publishing an RFQ with Scotts Creek retaining wall project. That'll be to hire a firm to represent the town, help us plan, help us budget, help us manage that project. It'll be open, that'll be advertised through July. Hopefully we'll get lots of interest in that as well. Bryson Park is on schedule and budget. The pavilion upgrades are 99% complete. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to get by there and look at that progress lately, but it looks fantastic. Playground installers will be back on site next week to get the remaining sunshades and exercise equipment in, concrete, fencing, paving, basketball court, and rebuilding a failing retaining wall adjacent to the basketball court will also commence in the coming days and weeks. Charles Street and Fincannon Road are scheduled for resurfacing in the next couple of weeks. So those are two places we're in desperate need of some paving. That I'm looking forward to getting that completed. Public Works and Jackson County Emergency Management are going to be the Forest Service on June 12th to clear the helicopter landing zone at Pinnacle Park. That's been set up by Michael Forbes and Jackson County Emergency Management. I'd really like to thank them for hooking us up with the Forest Service work crew. That's going to make that go a lot quicker. Painting of the Mill Street signal light mast arms will commence immediately after the start of the new fiscal year on July 1st. This past Friday, Paige and I attended a Leadership Through Hard Times. That was a course put on by the North Carolina School of Government. It was fantastic and a lot of great information in there. We are still in Public Works advertising for a job vacancy for a maintenance technician. Please help us spread the word about that. And lastly, senior maintenance tech Radburn Shutters got married over the weekend. So if y'all run into Radburn in town, tell him congratulations. Any questions? Go ahead, John.
Yes, Jake, and thanks for all the updates. Do we have a date of, estimated date of reopening Bryson Park?
Really shooting for by July 4th. That's the goal, and I think that's pretty achievable.
Jake, on the storm wash up there on Allen Street, I went up there and looked at it myself. I agree. It's not a landslide, it's a wash.
Yeah, that's my opinion too.
I think it's a little bit due to the fact that the new curb is about 2 inches lower than the old curb where it kind of stood up. I think it just over the curb.
Yeah.
You want to, I don't know how you choose to fix that. If you're going to have to do a little something there. But if you choose to go to the baskets, I checked with our company. We've got some left over and we're glad to donate 2 or 4 of them to the town. If you want to use them.
We'll see what Kessel says and we'll act accordingly based on what they say. But all right. Any other question? Thank you.
Police department.
Good morning, everybody. Chief Hatton's at a community event with Galadriel, so I'll be doing the report this morning. A little busier than usual this past month with PD. We had 1,533 total police actions in CAD at dispatch. A little breakdown of that, 120 traffic stops, 51 traffic crashes. We had 258 business checks throughout town and 181 follow-up investigations. We arrested 10 people for felony charges, 11 for misdemeanor, and issued 26 traffic citations, primarily for speeding in the school zone in front of Smoky Mountain High School. We received some new equipment that we have ordered. The biggest of those would be our new body cameras. Thank y'all for supporting that endeavor. I know it wasn't cheap, but I think that will help us now and into the future with our body cameras. And it'll give us a path forward to make sure we keep the latest technology with body cameras. It's surprised. I never thought I would see officers be so excited about body cameras, but they are actually bugging me almost daily, asking when we're going to get them in service. And that is going to be within the next few days, actually. We also received new radars, which will outfit all of our patrol fleet with the latest in radar technology. It's the same radars that the Highway Patrol uses, so they'll stay in service for a good amount of time. Sergeant Brandon Flesh recently completed traffic crash reconstruction with the North Carolina Justice Academy. And he'll finish up the traffic crash certification program later this year. Typically, that's only a level that you see with Highway Patrol. But we're excited to have him have that ability in town should we need it. And then finally, the sergeant's promotional process is set for the middle of next week. We've got 2 internal candidates. I think will be whichever one gets it will be great. And then from there, we continue to work on our open officer position. In fact, conducted an interview yesterday. That's all I've got. Anybody, any questions?
I think it's probably important to mention that the new radar system we have was, supplied by the governor's highway safety program through a grant.
It was completely funded by it, both this year and last year. So that was no funds, town funds spent. It was all through governor's highway safety, and we're certainly appreciative to them for that money.
Well, thank you. Fire department.
Start off by saying that so far we've been pretty busy this year. We're up to 585 calls as of yesterday. And the last year, about 100. So we're probably going to end up somewhere about 1,500, 1,600 for the year. That's an increase, but I guess that's the way it goes. So, and then other thing I was going to do is invite y'all to our cookout, which is going to be June 28th at 5 at Poteet Park. Cookout and pool party for yourself, spouses, and your family. So come on down. We'll have a good time, we hope. And that's really all I got, unless you have any questions.
Good. Thanks, Mike.
No, thank you.
Got it.
Good morning. Paige and I had a successful site visit from our North Carolina Main Street Director and Assistant Secretary of Commerce last week. It's great to be on the state's radar, and they were very complimentary of our town. We're also able to share our unique needs as a town in the Western region. So that was really good. We also hosted the North Carolina Main Street Directors Meeting, Regional Directors Meeting at the Jackson County Public Library. We gave the directors a tour of the town. They really enjoyed learning about the courthouse, rehabilitation and the repurposing of it as a library and community center. Concerts on the Creek, believe it or not, starts this Friday. They'll be from 7 to 9 every Friday until Labor Day. And this one will be kicked off by Shane Mead and Sound. There'll be food and beverage vendors, and most downtown restaurants will be open and also offer to-go options for people. And tonight we have our quarterly merchant meetup at Martha's Place at 5:30. If any of you all would like to attend, we'd love to have you. It's an informal setting where the merchants can share their ideas about the town and improving it and get resources to help their businesses thrive. Does anyone have any questions?
What time does St. Martha start?
5:30.
5:30.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, do we have a report for the planning board?
I shared it during my manager's report.
Okay. And while you're in the mode, what's the board?
Yes, so TWAS adopted their budget Tuesday night. They signed the notice to proceed on the wastewater treatment plant number 2, and Clearwell's completion date is scheduled for January.
Good. Do we have a report for Pinnacle Park?
We do not.
All right, so that moves us on to new business. We have 2 appointments for the ABC board, the request for reappointment. We have a letter on the back of your back page, your front page, asking to reappoint me to the ABC board, and also asking to affirm the county's appointment to name David Nolan the chairman for another year. I probably need to do those one at a time, is that correct?
Yes.
So, I guess I'm willing to serve on the ABC board. If anybody would like to make a motion that we do.
I'd like to make that motion to for a reappointment. Johnny Phillips and David Nolan to serve another term on the ABC board. Or Johnny first.
Yeah, let's do them one at a time. So, are there any other nominations? Something like that, okay. So, any more discussion? All in favor, raise your hand, say aye. All opposed, by like sign, the motion carries. I entertain a motion that we also appoint David Nolan as chairman with our agreed upon appointment with the county. County made that appointment on Tuesday night. I'm just reaffirming it.
Go ahead and make that motion.
Right, so we have a motion. Do we have any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, by like sign, motion carries. Takes care of the ABC appointment. Now this is discussion, the Rotary Club Peace Poll. Know that Paige and Jake and I walked around, trying to see about a good place to put it. Rotary Club. Would one of y'all like to speak and tell the board about that thing? I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, do y'all know anything about the Peace Bowl?
As they have been emailed the history and then the drawing.
Okay, so, I mean, it originally started in Japan decades ago, and it's kind of spread around the world, and Rotary International picked it up as a project, and many Rotary clubs in the region have started to add peace polls just as a symbol that can bring us all together. I think we can all do that. And I know we were at a district conference last week. The Asheville Rotary Club actually put up their peace pole at Pritchard Park, the main park in Patton Avenue in Asheville. So a lot of the local communities are doing that. We, Rotary Club of Sylva, commissioned David Burris, who's a metal sculptor here. He was trained at Western, has his own studio and works out of the Green Energy Park as well. And we commissioned him to develop. Most of the peace poles are painted wood. They're basically about 6 feet tall. They're shaped like an obelisk, kind of like the Washington Monument. And it says basically, may peace prevail in the world. Ours, we decided to do a little bit something more substantial. We wanted really public art, and Sylva doesn't have any sculptures, public sculptures. So we decided to do it out of metal and have him fabricate that. So it's about 6 feet tall. It's going to have may peace prevail through in the world on 3 sides, one in English, one in Cherokee, and one in Spanish. And then the 4th side will just say Rotary Club of Sylva. And he also added a dove on the top. It looks kind of like the eagles on the top of the flags with a olive branch in its mouth. So it's really cool looking. We went out and looked at it this past week, and he's almost through. It's going to be kind of washed with acid, and it'll be, right now it's silver, but it's made out of metal. But it's going to look, if you've seen the new planting brackets there at Gilda's, it's going to look like that, kind of a rust bronze color. So we had hoped that we originally thought about doing it at the Bridge Park somewhere. We wanted to be in some public place. It's going to be, it lasts forever. Basically, it'll be kind of the focal point of the town for in the future. So we understand y'all's reticence to do anything with the Bridge Park in terms of those kinds of things. So I saw the picture of Johnny, you and Jake had taken a look at the area around the bathrooms. That's fine. I probably need to get zero down on there's a couple of different locations that would work there. I'd like to maybe talk with you all about it, but I think that's going to be a great location for us. It's going to be a great addition to downtown.
One thing we haven't discussed is the future maintenance on it or anything. Is that something the Rotary Club can adopt?
Yeah, Rotary Club's willing to do that, and we've paid. We got a little grant for $250 from our district, but our club has lot of them have stepped up, and it's about a $4,000 sculpture, so, yeah, we're perfectly willing to maintain that. And what we'd like to do, I think it's gonna be on concrete over there, probably like to, we wanted to have it landscaped, so, thinking there might be just some plantings in containers around the bottom. And do put some native plants around the bottom, juice it up. And give it a change. Any other questions about the beach ball?
And we didn't discuss the plantings around it, but, we did
And that's a movable
look
thing.
at the place and so all board members know that, because we said we're not trying not to put things like that or any sculptures or any kind of bridge park. We looked at a location in that biggest area. If you're standing on the railroad tracks looking at our new bathrooms, that widest big concrete area where the picnic tables are, sort of in the middle. I don't know if we want to take the space up for plantings around it or not. What do you think?
That's something we can figure out.
Yeah. We're not talking about large planters. Round things in the bottom. There's also another possible location on the other side, closer to the street, but then we can get with y'all and firm that up.
So for now, it's on the agenda for discussion. So if we just leave it at discussion for now, so there's
Unless you all feel ready to vote.
is the Rotary Club comfortable with that place we chose?
I'm comfortable with I'm the president-elect, so I'll be president this coming year. We can work out exactly where it's gonna go. That's not gonna be an issue. Yeah. And he's about through with it, with the fabrication and everything. What we'd like to do is, I should have mentioned this too, we'd like to go ahead and get y'all to approve placing it over there somewhere. And then go ahead and start scheduling a public dedication. Because what we'd like to do is have a public dedication with Rotary dignitaries, the town board, and manager and dignitaries, and maybe somebody from the tribe as well. And just kind of have a public dedication, kind of like we did with bathrooms.
Do it around some kind of event.
We can work, I mean, it can be any time, but probably in the next couple of months would be good.
Fourth of July,
Everyone's gonna be around.
it's gonna be ready.
I think that would work.
Ready, that'd be a good time.
Any more discussion about it?
I would ask too, maybe some kind of plaque or sign, just kind of talking about the history, like what is a peace bowl? Here's what, we could put Cherokee on it. It's just a little description. Is that gonna be up there or?
We can do that. We talked about even putting a few names down for the people that paid for it, the sponsors.
Yeah.
But that would be great, just a little brass plaque or something. So that people will understand kind of where it came from, what its purpose is.
I agree.
It might be the first peace poll a lot of people have seen. So what is this?
Well, we've never heard of it. It's kind of become a thing around the world, but in America and specifically in Western North Carolina, it's really kind of ramped up over the past years.
So over in that area, we already have some signage that Paige and Bernadette and some folks, chose, and if we could if you work with them on the signage. And
Absolutely.
see that things sort of look similar forward.
Well, it's a public thing, so yeah, we can work on the text and make sure everybody's happy with it.
Jay, does it anchor down somehow?
He says he can anchor it if it's gonna be in the cement, just some flanges come out and bolt into so you don't have to dig it up the concrete, or you just bolt it in.
Well, I just want it to be fixed so that it can't be knocked over.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty heavy, but it's definitely gotta be fixed.
Yeah, there could be a liability with it if it's not fouled down.
Y'all know David, maybe you don't know him, but David Burris.
I think
He's done a good job.
Go ahead and vote on it if y'all are comfortable with that. So I've entertained a motion that we allow the placement of Rotary Club peace pole on the right-hand side of our new bathroom.
I'll make the motion. You do that.
Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your hand, say aye. All opposed, by like sign, motion carries. Hey,
Thanks.
Bernadette and Jay can work on the words to the sign, and Jay, take care of pinning it down. Okay. So, the last thing on our agenda is a special event request for the farmer's market, for alcohol service. I'm assuming they already have Bridge Park Reserve. So we're just, I didn't find a motion that we approve, permit for alcohol service for that event.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion. Do we have any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, by like sign, the motion carries. Unless I'm missing something, it's time for Brad Walker.
I motion that we adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. Do we have any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand, say aye. All opposed, by like sign,